Ok, ok, on va le faire.
Qu'est-ce que tu me ferais pas pour un vote, hein? As-tu besoin d'un conseil? Oui, pense à ton ex. Ne brise pas ma machine. Vas-y, Valérie. Oui. Nice shot.
So as you can see, Jagmeet Singh has been hammering home the NDP message, literally and figuratively, in this early campaign. As I've noted in previous videos, it's been a great start for Jagmeet Singh and the NDP. You know, a lot of people were counting them out, but I think we've seen that Jagmeet Singh is going to be a strong campaigner. He's great at relating to people. He's great at having fun. He's great at doing all the sorts of things that get you this positive media coverage, sometimes based on your policies, but yes, sometimes based on your ability to help facilitate quote-unquote puff pieces and viral videos and memes and what have you. All of that is very important during a campaign process. And I think it's crucial to note what Chantal Hébert said. She's, a major political commentator for the Toronto Star and the CBC, among other venues, one of the biggest political voices in Canada. And Chantal Hébert noted that Jagmeet Singh is what you might call a fearless campaigner. And what I think she means by that is that he seems to have a style, and he's very open about that. And he's bringing that style to people in like an unfiltered manner. Maybe there are risks to that, because what if people don't like you the way that you are? What if it comes off poorly? But I think with Jagmeet Singh, he has confidence in himself. He has confidence in his own demeanor and his own presentation. And I think that by doing this, he's really showing people that they have a leader in him that not only has substantive ideas, but has a, fun way of selling them. Of course, tying into this idea of being a fearless campaigner is the way in which he talked to the rich at the Canadian Club. And I've noted this, right? I noted that in a previous video where, it's not just that Singh has this happy air, and it's not just that Singh has this bold platform. It's how he's able to combine them. So on the one hand, Singh can come off as very fun, very lighthearted, very folksy in some ways. But on the other, he can tell rich people what's what, and sometimes combine them. Tell a little joke that explains to the wealthiest why perhaps they need to pay more, why perhaps they need to do more to help build a better society, in that, the regular working and middle class people have maybe not the means to sacrifice very much, whereas the wealthiest do. And so if we want things like healthcare to be improved, we want dental care and pharmacare and things like that, then we'll need to raise taxes on the rich to help provide them. But everyone in society will benefit, especially those who are least fortunate. And I think that message from Singh, and I think that message, as Hébert notes, is a fearless one. The media forces in this country, the economic and political forces in this country, are fairly united against what the NDP is proposing. They don't like it. It strikes at their social and economic and political power. And so to bring that message to people, including the wealthy people, in an open and frank manner, yet is still accessible and does not come off as vindictive or aggressive, is an innately important skill. And so Jagmeet Singh is doing all the right things thus far. All the right things. He's getting the campaign platform out. It's already been released, in the weeks prior to the election. I think that was the right decision, but I think it's important now that Jagmeet Singh goes into communities across the country and explains to them, here's how the NDP's New Deal, or here's how the NDP's commitment to housing and healthcare and, reducing tuition debt affects local communities, affects people in this community. And I think when he does that, when he combines the wonkish policy proposals with the down to earth, here's how it affects you and your loved ones and your neighbors and your colleagues and your community, that is a political winner. And I think we're starting to see that. And I don't think any other political leader thus far has been able to build the sort of momentum that Jagmeet Singh has. In the early campaign thus far, none of the other leaders, I think, have had a very good start. And so I don't think Jagmeet Singh is winning by default. I think that indeed he's done a good job, but it helps, obviously, when your opponents aren't pulling their weight. And so we have Elizabeth May, who continues to be racked with scandal after scandal. We now have the NDP taking a former Green Party leader to run for the NDP in Quebec against Pierre Nantel. And so while Elizabeth May sounded really good in the debate, I think there's a fundamental weakness in her campaign because she spent so much time defending her policy inconsistencies, her candidates' inconsistencies, and on and on and on. Do they vet? Do they not vet? What do they vet on and not vet on? Has this person been vetted, or do they still need to be quote-unquote re-vetted? All of these things prevent momentum. And I think that it's telling. Now, this is just one poll, but Nanos did an overnight poll over the last couple nights, and on the first night, the NDP did extremely well, going up basically 1%. And last night, the NDP largely kept that gain, and there was a big jump for the Conservatives. I don't know what's causing that, but I did see a big tumble for the Greens, and I do think people are starting to realize that Elizabeth May and the Green Party are not the progressive voices they thought they were, and are not the voices ready to represent Canadians on any massive scale. And I think that, the chickens are coming home to roost for the Green Party. And further to that, Justin Trudeau has been relatively invisible. Certainly he's been at events across the country, but for the Prime Minister, I haven't seen him got a whole lot of coverage. He skipped debates. He's been, I think, dodging questions relating to SNC-Lavalin. In general, he hasn't been able to put forward a positive, proactive message because he's been playing defense this entire time. And Andrew Scheer has been coming out with policies, but he himself has been playing defense, whether it's because of candidates taking controversial positions and he not being willing to remove them from, the Conservative slate, or whether it's his party attacking academics and supposed left-wing ideology, or whether it's his party offering a tax cut supposedly for everybody, but that only really benefits upper middle class and wealthy people, or whether it's, him going to an event that's supposedly this wholesome, unfiltered chat in the living room of a supporter of a regular Canadian family, and you can see the teleprompter on the goddamn TV. All of this from Trudeau, May, and Scheer indicate that they have not had a good start, that they are not demonstrating authenticness, that they are not demonstrating openness, and they are not demonstrating clarity to Canadians. The point is more than any other leader and more than any other party, you know where Jagmeet Singh stands right now. He stands with the people and not the powerful. He is, more than any other leader right now, hammering home a consistent message that he is there for the many and not the few. That he is taking on the powerful interests that want to deny you healthcare and housing and dental care and things like that. And he's going to take the wealth taxed from those people and shift the corporate subsidies that have benefited those people towards you and your families and your communities. And when we do that, we'll have a more just Canada where young people especially, but really everybody, can have a more hopeful, and positive life. And I think that that's a message that is absolutely golden and combines so well with his optimistic campaign style and the ability to frankly win voters in these one-on-one conversations. And of course, unfortunate as it is, Jagmeet Singh can't meet with every one of Canada's 35 million people, let alone, every eligible voter. He doesn't have that ability, unfortunately. But I think when you see these reactions, when you see these interactions, even, as a third party, it speaks to you. And so I think that it's been a fantastic start. Chantal Hébert is right. This has been a fearless campaign from Jagmeet Singh, both in terms of ideology and also presentation. And I think that he's the only leader right now who is putting forward a vision that is both clear and progressive. You're not getting that from anybody else. And so I predict that this upward momentum, that this Singh upswing is going to continue. I can't predict where it will ultimately lead. I can't predict whether Singh will have a performance that'll put the NDP at a historical level, or I don't know if Jagmeet Singh will have a performance that merely matches, other strong NDP performances. But I am increasingly convinced that the narrative of the NDP's demise has been greatly overblown, and especially because this campaign has started off so strongly for Jagmeet Singh and the NDP. As I've noted, you can't count him out. You can't count this party out. He is a leader that seems to charm people wherever he goes, in a way that even Justin Trudeau didn't quite do, I feel, in 2015. And he is a leader with a platform that is unique from everybody else's, and that when you poll on the core issues in that platform, such as a wealth tax, are incredibly popular. This is the recipe for a special campaign. And I think a lot of media, and I'm not calling anybody out in particular, who denied Jagmeet Singh and said he was invisible and said the platform wasn't clicking, are now realizing that perhaps they jumped the gun. Perhaps their desire to build a pre-campaign narrative clouded the reality. That Jagmeet Singh is just below the surface. He's percolating just below the surface of really blowing up into a national campaign that impresses people who have not really had the chance to meet him. And that's the great opportunity and challenge for Jagmeet Singh. Some polling like that from Abacus is suggesting that for the first time in a while, his numbers are now in the positives. More people approve of Jagmeet Singh than disapprove of him. And I think that that's important, that the trend is positive. But Singh, compared to the big two-party leaders especially, isn't known by many Canadians. Now that's going to be something he needs to fix. But if he does fix it, and he does it in a manner that leaves people with a good impression, it means that he, unlike Trudeau and unlike Scheer, has incredible amounts of room to impress millions of Canadians. And I think he just might seize that opportunity.